No,
There it
live.
is.
You live on Facebook.
It don't matter, man. Nobody's watching.
Go ye therefore.
Of course, then Jeanette Johnson jumped in.
Baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Y'all ready? So let's go. Turn it up. I'm about to show you what.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So let's go. So let's go. So let's go. Let's go. Still Christ up in the hood, man. All right, let's go. That's
That dude's gonna be famous one day, man. It'll be like, how'd you get famous? Well, there's these two knuckleheads in Temple, Texas.
Oh, that's how we gonna become famous, because they be like, "What's that?"
What you jamming to, man? What you jamming to? Where you at, man? Welcome back, baby. Because guess what time it is? It is fantasy game time, baby.
I
For
know
the first
it's been a
time,
minute.
man. First time in a month, I've been yelling at this guy, cursing him out, everything else. Finally got him to commit, man. He's got a 5 o'clock meeting at the church, 7 o'clock meeting at the church, 9 o'clock meeting at the church, 11 o'clock meeting at the church. I'm like, man, let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it,
So,
man.
yeah, so.
It's good to be back, though.
Yeah, man. We're messing around and get something done and have a little fun, talk a little football. And I'm sorry, man. Talk about the last day of football tomorrow. Sorry.
You know what's that feeling like when your team is like playing in that last game? I mean,
I forgot. It was 25 years ago. Man, it was like 1995. So, I mean, I don't remember.
You know, I heard on the video they said it's people out there, and if it's one of y'all out there, let us know. But that are Patriot fans, that are Alabama fans, that are Golden State fans.
Yeah.
Like they're good.
Yeah, but not very many people like are organic. You know, Patriot, Alabama.
Right.
They had to like bandwagon and get all that crap going on. You know, they pulled a Barry Schilling on them and hooked them up. But we forgot. He's a Dolphin fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. We forgot what it's like to be playing on tomorrow. So been too long. But we have all of the glory days to talk about. You know, we can pull back 1972 on you in a heartbeat, man. But yeah, this is killing us, man.
This year, Trey, he Titan fan, and my wife a Titan fan, and so first round of the playoffs, he's like, where you watching the game at? What you want to do for the game? I'm like,
I don't care. Man, it'll be on the crap.
I'm like, man, I think I'd be so mad after the season to where I don't even watch the first round of the playoffs, man. It's like, wow, I don't know. What do you want to do? Let's do something. Okay.
You're more concerned with like, what are we eating while we're watching the game? Because that's the main thing I'm worried about right there. Man, yeah, I gotta tell you, we kind of missed. I missed just being, because I tell you, I've not seen this guy's face since the last time we got together, except for that one time we had lunch on MLK Day. But that's the only time. And so I miss this, you know, as much as I do missing the show. So I want to keep the show going so I can hang out with this dude, man. We've been best friends for, 20 years, I guess, and just what the Lord did for us. So we're excited to be back, and so today we're gonna kind of wrap things up. We're gonna go back over, as the show sort of evolved over the year. We kind of named certain segments and named certain things that we do, and so we're gonna put a bow on it. We're gonna make the final one of this or that or the other, and give out some awards, and talk a little Super Bowl, I guess. Sorry, man. Excuse me. I go into like a 6-month depression after that, man. I mean, it's like the combine doesn't do anything for me.
You got to get into it, man.
Yeah, the draft is good.
You got to get into the mock drafts. The hundreds, they're going to come out. You know what I'm saying?
And all of them are like 100% wrong. And we're like, oh, did you see that? We got Calvin Ridley. I'm like, well, he's not going to be there, so I'm really sorry.
A 7-round mock draft?
Yeah, 7 rounds. Yeah, that's happening. Yeah. You can't get the first 10 picks right, and you want to try to guess pick number 200? Okay. Thanks for playing. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Cowboys have those guys do that too. It's like, come on, man. 7-round.
But I look at it and just something to do.
Yeah, it's like, all right, give us something to talk about. So, all right. So, we're going to start off with what really matters in fantasy football, the MVP of the year. So if we're talking about the whole year.
Okay, but these are fantasy MVP.
Fantasy MVP. We don't give a crap about what actually happened in the league. We're talking about how can you help my team out, man. I don't care about any of
It's
that
fantasy. Yeah,
Yeah.
we gonna stick with the fantasy part of it. Yeah,
man.
right.
And we got a special guest watching the show, man.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember Tony Brown.
Oh, of course. Oh,
Man,
yeah.
Tony Brown
That's
was
it.
there the first day I got to Walmart back 100 years ago. And yeah, it's not Antonio Brown. It's Tony Brown. But yeah, this cat is crazy as they come, man. So we're welcome to the show, Tony, man. I hadn't seen you in 500 years, but if I saw you, it'd be like I never left. We never left. So, all right, let's start at the top. MVP. Who's the man? Like, if you could have gone back to the beginning of the year and drafted this guy first, who would it be?
And the looks I would have got probably when I done it.
You would have got flipped off and everything else, man.
But I mean, Todd Gurley has to be hands down I think if you look at every fantasy team champion, probably about 90% of them had Gurley
Man,
on
what
their
kind of
team.
stupid pick was that? What kind of idiot are you? Gosh! Guess who mine is?
Ding, ding, ding.
Todd Gurley! Oh, wow! What a
Double
great
down,
pick.
double
Yeah,
down.
double down. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that dude right there, you kind of had a feeling at the beginning of the year it was either going to be boom or bust, you know? Because he was either going to fit in what Sean McVay was doing or he wasn't. And man, he fit like a glove. Goodness gracious. Because, I mean, Jeff Fisher had the same people, right? And you're wondering, man, is Todd Gurley still good? I don't even
I
remember.
know, right? Like maybe he just ain't, some of them don't transition.
To the knee? Is the knee back? I don't know. Yeah,
Can he read the holes? Is he
yeah.
just...
He was reading some holes this year. I mean, and the thing that I saw from Gurley that I hadn't really seen much in the past was the finish speed.
Right.
I mean, the play against the Titans, he caught the little screen and broke into the open field, and I'm like, well, surely there's a safety or a corner that's going to run him down at some point. Somebody get him!
And that's the thing that I think came back into the league this year, that screen game to the running back. I mean, look at Kamara and Hunt, them boys. It's like...
Zeke scored another long one again this year.
Yeah. See, so it's like that part of the game, it's the game go one way and then all of a sudden it come right back, and this simple stuff like that. And it's like...
Running backs don't matter. Running backs don't matter. And now what happened? Oh, man. If you got a good running back, though, that'll help. Oh, okay.
They can catch the ball and...
Oh, I got something on that. I saw a tweet the other day. Blew my mind. Small explosion. Last week of the year, 2014, the Patriots picked up Dion Lewis off of, like as a future contract or whatever, like they do, And yeah, he's he's greeting people at Walmart or whatever he's doing, and so they picked him up, and since then they are, I think they've lost 3 games that he played in. There's something like 31-3 with him. 91%, and they're like they only win like 76% without him. So they're
he's more of a factor than Gronk is. That's what you saying.
Well, I mean, according to this stat, numbers never lie, right? That can't be happening, right? Numbers could never lie. Like with Hall of Fame or anything like that. We're not.
Yeah,
doing
that's
that.
a whole nother show.
We're not doing that. We're not. That's not this show. All right. So MVP, hands down, we're giving it to Todd Gurley. If you disagree, you're wrong. We're in a total agreement.
You can debate the other ones, but
yeah, man, just talk about the second pick. I put it this way: I'm picking first next year, and if nothing changes, you're a girly man. That's right. He's gonna be a girly man on my team. So that's all.
I can picture that team name now. Then okay.
Oh yeah. No, you know what my team name's gonna be next year? Surviving the Ground. The stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I've been walking on the ground since I was 1 year old, man. Talking about surviving the ground. Like, come on,
just
man.
don't fall. That's the problem. You can
well,
walk
just don't
on
get
it,
tackled. Just run around with the ball and don't get tackled.
Once you fall on the ground, then you got to survive it.
Oh man! Oh, you don't want to die.
There's all kind of knives and stuff.
Oh my
mines.
It's like there's not tigers on the field, man. It'll be okay. Come on, they act like they're playing Jumanji out there. Like surviving the ground. The stupidest thing I ever heard. All right, we decided to have a comeback player of the year. So that means they sucked or they got hurt in 2016. So 2017, comeback player of the year. Talk to me.
Okay, so you said they sucked or they what?
Got hurt.
We got to add one.
Okay.
Or they was coached by Jeff Fisher.
So we're gonna trash Jeff Fisher on the MVP. We're gonna trash Jeff Fisher on the comeback player of the year. What you got?
Oh, I got Goff, man. My boy, man. I got Jared Goff. This guy. When last year it was like, do you even belong in the league? You know what I'm saying?
Can't even hit a goalpost.
Right now, it's like, oh, all right. This guy's a starting fantasy quarterback. Big time.
This guy didn't want to do it, though.
Wow.
He was like, oh, man, he got lucky. Like, Jeff Fisher was on his brain, man. Like, this guy really can't do it. So he wouldn't start him. He's 40 points.
Yeah.
So, Jay, he scored 40 last week. Yeah. I don't know, man. He's playing Denver this week. 43. Okay, well, I don't know. He's going to play Washington this week. 48. Okay, Jay, why don't you start this guy, man? You're losing 20 points a game.
I might be the only person with Hunt and Bell and Goff that didn't make the playoffs. So, so that lets you know how much credibility I have to make this show. But once I'm a believer. So he got me. I'm in now. So yeah, that's my comeback player of the year, man.
All right.
Big time.
I'm gonna give it to a guy that I think is one of the best receivers in the league when he's healthy, and he's had a couple of knees over the last couple of years, but up until that point, he's been the man. He's on fire. He's doing thing, and that's Keenan Allen of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Are you used to it now?
No, I will never get used to it. I love the San Diego Chargers, man. I love the old Chargers. Yeah, I love the old Air Coryell Chargers back in the day. Chuck Muncie and John Jefferson and Charlie Joyner and Kellen Winslow.
But
it ain't no coincidence there's a Kellen running around my house.
But that's a good pick, man, because it was a minute there by like week 10 to 14, like he was unstoppable. Like he was running around getting 10 catches.
That's not really fair to say because he played the Cowboys 1 week. Like he looked like he had like off on or something. We couldn't touch him, man. This guy was just running through the secondary. But yeah, he was killing it. He's always been really high on targets from Philip Rivers.
Right,
Philip Rivers always has to have one guy that like that's my dude right there. For years it was Antonio Gates, but then it was kind of like, oh no, what are we gonna do? It was like that's okay, we're gonna draft you a guy. Don't worry about it, man. It'd be all right.
And he jumped right back into the role.
Oh yeah. And like for a little while, I mean, for a few games there after Keenan Allen got hurt a couple of years ago, it was Tyrell Williams. You know, everybody's like, "Dang, who the heck is Tyrell Williams?"
He'll make a guy.
Yeah,
like you're gonna catch it regardless. I'm gonna keep throwing it to you.
Yeah. Eventually, you're gonna get some yards. Cool, man. All right, newcomer of the year, somebody that kind of popped off the screen that you're kind of like, where the heck did you come from?
Well, I'm gonna let you go first this time with this.
Man, I appreciate that, Jay.
Man,
this guy's been trashing me since he got to my house, you know, telling me how my opinion is stupid and all that stuff. So he's gonna be nice to me on camera. That's nice, man. That's all right.
I mean, for the people, man.
Oh man, yeah. He's like, hey, see, I do have white friends. All right, man. All right, I'm gonna go with Nelson Aguilar. He's a guy that got picked in the first round, and they trashed this guy for 3 or 4 years because he just wasn't living up to the hype. He was in that goofy Chip Kelly offense and then didn't really do anything last year. But really, man, I mean, I think a lot of not just football, but life is just timing and just opportunity. And this guy is in the right offense, in the right position in the offense. He's not on the outside. He's right there in the slot doing his thing. And man, he just tore it up this year. Right. And was... I think he finished in the top 15, top 20. He was killing it this year.
I know he had games where it was just like, oh goodness, you know.
Yeah. But he wasn't like a guy that if he didn't score a touchdown, he was useless. He was catching a lot of passes. He was getting the targets and stuff.
And I think the biggest part you said about that is he had a role.
They figured out where he fit.
Right.
And to me, that's coaching.
There you go.
That's coaching.
That's it. To the T. And so this guy, and then that's what happened to good coaches, to take somebody to reject, and then bam, all of a sudden.
Deion Lewis. I mean, you know.
But see, I didn't want to say the Patriots again, but
excuse me.
Like we were like Wes Welker, man, you just go, man, please.
Y'all got a second round pick out of that. What was that? What did that become? I wonder.
We drafted
2007
a receiver,
Chris Chambers. That's too early. That's too late.
Yeah. He didn't do anything. It's irrelevant. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like he was anybody, but like you say, they knew a role for him, got him, and bam, rest is history.
Yeah, that's
kind of thing.
I don't want to bring up the Patriots again though. All right. So who do you have newcomer of the year?
I got Robbie Anderson, and the reason why I put this dude is because
he's freaking good.
He's good, and my nephew said this about Trey one time. He said, "You're so small." To him one time, and that's why when I look at him, that's what I think. Like, man,
aren't you cute? You're so cute. Y'all, you're playing football with the big boys. You're so cute. Yeah, until he scores a touchdown on you.
Yeah, like
it's like Spider-Man out
there. Right. His hands are so. I mean, I don't know if Madden started this, but he has strong hands, man.
Oh gosh. The last time I played Madden. I believe it was Madden 93.
Oh,
so you're talking a bunch of Greek to me, man. I ain't had time. I got 8 kids, man. I got time for no man.
But I mean, when I see him, that's what I think of. Because once it touches hands, is it? He got it. Spider-Man, like you're saying. He catch. I mean, the tough catches. I mean, in crowds.
112 pounds soaking wet, just catching the ball. Does not care.
Yeah, man. So that's my guy. He's one of them I didn't believe in. He kind of came on late last year, I think. Like, okay, he's here because somebody had to. Cause like everybody was falling off the map.
It seemed like he was always available on the waiver wire. It's just kind of like people were like, "Hey, man, can we trust this guy or not?"
But then they saw him like, man, he's so small.
Man, you're so small. You're so cute, man. Yeah, no, he was doing good though. We want to welcome into the program, watching the program today, Craig Wade, voice of the Longhorns.
Oh, wow, yeah, man. We cool. Made it.
Welcome, Craig. We listen to you all the time. We'll listen to us.
Don't get nervous now. That's real.
I love Craig Wade, man. Come on. I got my picture taken with Brad Sham this past off-season, or this past couple weeks ago, and that was a big highlight for me. And now Craig Wade watching the show. Come on. All right, so Rookie of the Year. This is not as easy as it looks.
Well, you're right, because there was a few came on the scene was like, we belong here.
That popped up. So what did you end up going with?
Well, it's personal. Man, Kareem Hunt is my guy. Now, he had a little low right there about in the middle, you know what I'm saying? But how versatile he was at catching the ball. I mean, he always got the attempts, so.
I wouldn't say always. Because they gave up on that.
Well, and that's the part I don't understand what went on with that. Was that
Were they saving him for something? I mean, I was like, what are you doing? This guy's 20 years old. Give him the football.
And that's probably what happened in one of the rules. Like, because there's always a chart. Like every coach get a question like, man, is he getting too many carries? It's like, it's week 2. And right now he has, on the chart he has 38.
He's on pace for...
Right. Then when you don't get enough...
Well, if you hit a home run in the first game, you're on pace for 162. What are you trying to say?
And that happens too much. They're overthinking it. But it was a part in the season, he gave up the play calling something like... So
isn't it funny that they start out so hot and then by October, you're like, well, this isn't working. Like, well, crap, they were killing everybody the first few weeks.
Yeah. So, but he finished strong, and the sky's the limit with this guy. I mean, he didn't. I don't think he missed a game or had to come out for. I mean, any kind of injury or anything. So, he just tore it up and came in the league. He showed. I mean, he went under the radar, I think. But by preseason, people
knew.
Okay.
Well, Spencer Ware got hurt, and then it was like, this is the guy to get. This is the young guy to get.
And Wes had a role. You know what? It wasn't like they were going to both. It's like, okay, Wes, you're going to be the third down guy, and this is how we're going to do it.
Right.
And I think the more Wes came in, the better Hunt was at the end. Because Wes started getting some touchdowns. It was like, hold up, because they kind of just, better for both black, but still, they, so we want to score, you got to be like
running backs.
You have to be like, okay, hold on, which one was it? Oh, that was West.
I didn't get no points for that.
Yeah, but I think that worked out real good how they had that. So, but it's gonna be intriguing. The coordinator gone now, so all this plays in the fantasy, guys. You got
to pay attention to everything, man. Because if you would have paid attention to just coordinators last year, you would have picked a lot differently. And that's the thing. I'm gonna just throw a draft thing in here.
Yeah.
Man, pick whoever you want to pick. Pick anybody you want to pick.
Go Abraham Wade on the draft.
Go Abraham Wade. Go do whatever you want to do. Pick anybody you want. Because whoever the consensus opinion is, they're wrong.
Right.
It doesn't matter if they go, Aaron Rodgers. If you get Aaron Rodgers, you're going all the way. Well, Aaron Rodgers' collarbone can fall off. So
yeah, and bar.
Yeah, I don't think so. So do whatever you want.
All right, who your guy, man?
All right. Like you said, there's, Kareem Hunt came out like gangbusters, but he also kind of tailed off towards the middle, and then he kind of made a little comeback at the end. Yeah. But a guy that I thought he was decent at the beginning, but man, he was money for the rest of the season was Alvin Kamara. Yeah. And once again, the role thing. The coaches knew how to use him. They weren't going out there and handing this guy the ball 28 times a game. Right. And they weren't handing him the ball a ton of times more than they were throwing it to him. This guy got targets. He fit into that Darren Sproles role, but he was even better than Sproles at it because he could run,
man.
But he could run, and he had the toughness. He could break tackles, and Sproles was, I think, one of the more underrated players in the league for the last 10 years. Right. But man, Kamara was a true superstar.
And another Madden-ism, man, his balance is unbelievable.
It wasn't his balance. It was the sheer power in his legs to be able to stay up in situations where you would see a linebacker come in and you'd be like, okay, all right, this guy's fixing to get tackled. Right. Okay, right. And he would just be like, I don't really want to be tackled. So, no. I'm going to go ahead and go to the end zone. Because we got this celebration planned, and I'm part of it. And if I'm not there, it's not going to work. So.
You understand that, right?
Yeah, man.
Maybe next time, but not this one.
Yeah, man. And you'll still get paid in your next contract and everything. I'm just going to go score.
Oh, man. And he was one of them kind of slippery, but it wasn't like a juke-ish kind of thing. It was just subtle stuff. And
it was, Ben, but it's kind of like a...
And that was Reggie Bush's problem. Like, he would have to stop to make somebody miss
and he would actually have to stutter, do the...
Right, and all that, and then everybody's like, man, get that out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not looking at hips or nothing. I'm just killing you.
I'm looking right between the 2 and the 5, and yeah, you're dead.
Oh,
if you remember the Super Bowl that they won in 2009, the play that the screen that they ran to score a touchdown in the third or fourth quarter, Reggie Bush was on the field and he goes, no, I want 23. Give me 23. And they put Pierre Thomas in, and Pierre Thomas scored the touchdown. But once again, Sean Payton knew for that role, this is the dude I need. And coaching, once again, because Reggie Bush, hey, man, he dances too much. Get that guy out of there. I want this guy to make the move, and he did. And this thing is like making my nose itch. And just FYI, I had with this thing called Mohs surgery on Friday. They cleaned out the cancer. I had a little skin cancer spot on my face, and praise the Lord, cancer free.
Amen.
So it's all good. So that's why I should have just told him, man, you should have seen the other guy, man. It was a cage fight. I'm 1-0 in my career. I beat up a dude in the first grade, and I was like, all right, man, I'm good on the fighting, man. So
like, boy, you upset about football being over that much?
Yeah, man, headbutting stuff. Yeah, man, I'm fired up, man. I ain't putting up with that crap. So, all right, where are we at?
Injury.
Killer injury. All right.
Personal. This is personal.
All right, first, before he even gets into this.
Man, you done told this story 9 times.
Before he gets into this, he offered. FYI. All right, go ahead.
My injury, killer injury, and it's been so many this year. I mean, we even we could do a show just on injuries this year.
Football's violent, right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Man. But you got to survive the ground, though.
As long as you survive the ground, it doesn't matter if you really have your knees and stuff.
But Allen Robinson, man, I had big hopes for this guy. I mean, I mean, I traded the franchise away to get this guy, and just thought I was really genius. And this guy in the first game get like a 17-yard pass, and then he's gonna
last 17 yards he picked up.
Gonna sit down for the rest of the year, young man. So that's
on a contract year.
And you know what? Yeah, that's crazy how that's gonna work out. But I just remember looking at his stat and like, oh man, the game just started. He already got a catch. Yes, woo! That's what I'm talking about. He's not.
My phone broke. Somebody call me.
Refresh. Like, why is this dude stuck? 1.7 yards.
Why is everybody else's points going up?
Oh man, so man, that hurt, man. That sucked. But I guess one of them, if you get it out the way early, you ain't got to worry about it. But man, I mean, look, the team still went on, but fantasy wise,
what a concept is surviving an injury, like having an injury, and then overcoming it by adjusting.
Got to.
That's an interesting concept. For a Cowboy fan, that's an interesting concept.
Because injuries are part of the game, right? You saying it's a violent.
Oh, are they?
Every play is a car wreck.
Man, I guarantee you, you learn something new every time you come on this show, man. It is awesome. Freaking, yeah. What did they do? Go to the AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles?
Nobody had nothing else, man. Go ahead. What's your name?
To me, the reason I went with this guy on the killer injury is I think he was the most common number one overall pick that I heard.
Right.
And that was David Johnson. I think if you go back to the beginning of the year and they said, look, man, I'll give you the first pick, who you taking? I think it's David Johnson.
Right. Yeah, the fantasy commercial and everything. I mean,
sure. Well, yeah, because so did DeMarco Murray. That didn't mean he scored any points. David Johnson was. They were ready to ride. They were saddle that guy up and ride him into the sunset, right. And
it wasn't even a knee. You know what I'm saying? It was just my thumb, and he didn't come back.
That was a wrist, wasn't it?
It was a wrist.
I think it's falling apart.
You're getting hyped, man.
I'm telling you. I feel like a professional wrestler. You know what I mean? Like the mask guys. They're getting the mask torn off or whatever.
You're a gamer, man. I mean,
limping into this sucker. Put me on Willis Reed.
This show really means a lot to you. Get this cane out of here. We doing the show. I don't care. Let's go. Get a mic up. I'm ready. Dedication, man. Yeah. All right.
Well, one of our favorite segments of the year has been That's What I'm Talking About. Because they say that I don't give a crap if it's 30 years from now, 50 years ago. They're going to be saying, that's what I'm talking about. They always, they might not have been saying anything for the last 45 minutes, but that's what I'm talking about.
If you score a touchdown, come to the sideline, you're going to get 50 of, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So it's
I wish I could find that clip. I do. I'm going to send it to you, man. It's hilarious. All right. So that's what I'm talking about for 2017 for the year.
It's another killer injury, but Deshaun Watson. But that's what I'm talking about for him is just the guy's attitude, the guy's who he is. I mean, I never met him, probably won't ever meet him, but just the stuff I see that he goes out his way and do is just.
So you're saying that the locker room presence that matters?
Y'all weren't here for that argument, but we had an off-camera argument about. See, we say we ain't gonna talk about.
We're not talking about it.
Right, okay.
He's not worth talking about.
Oh, but then now you gonna make me talk about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I mean, this even like with the Super Bowl interviews, he been coming up and talking, and he's positive and ready to get back at it. And I'm like, man, you know what? That's what I'm talking about, man. Just to automatically have that. I mean, I think he might be getting a little overboard with it now with the confidence because he said if Brady get 6, he gonna have 7. Like dude, you don't know how hard it is to get to the Super Bowl. I know Brady making it seem easy, but reality is, I mean, you get to one.
You got the best coach of all time and the best quarterback of all time together. You better pray Bill O'Brien's the next Bill Belichick.
But just almost like another Dak kind of clone, like says the right stuff.
Intangibles, graduated, senior, mature.
Do stuff right when the camera ain't watching kind of guy. Like, and that's the stuff they see. And then now the camera, we all hear about it. So that's what I'm talking about, man. I hope he come back strong, and
Me too.
He's gonna light it. I mean, it's game time. Oh yeah.
I'm a Cowboy fan through and through. I will never cheer for another team. But, man, go Deshaun Watson. Because I got 2 of his receivers in a Dynasty League, and they will be on my team forever if that guy stays healthy. Goodness. Did you see the sound effects? I think the last game he played was Seattle. And he made a play where they should have... Any other quarterback gets sacked. But he just kind of goes... And just spun around and then flicked it to Lamar Miller.
Right.
And so he comes to the sideline, and Tom Savage is standing there. He goes, "Man, I don't know how you do that." And he just goes, and Tom Savage is like, "That doesn't help me at all. Like, what did you just even say?" I mean, he was just kind of like, "I don't know, man. You just gotta do this and that and the other." I'm like,
that's why
that doesn't mean anything to me.
That's why I talked about Sunday school class and say just because I always go to sports somehow, but
that's how my kids learn history.
But I said just because you're a great player don't mean you're a great coach. See, that was a bit of great coaching moment, but when you're great, you just say, man, all you do is just zip, zip, and you just do it. And
that's why Jordan got frustrated as an executive. He's like, shoot the ball. Why can't you just do this?
You shoot it, it goes in. What is your problem?
What is the issue here?
What are y'all doing?
Bunch of morons.
So that's what I'm talking about. So what you talking about, man?
Man, I'm going back to the USFL.
That word coming again.
Man, I love the USFL. But something that they did right, and even the XFL did it right, and the NFL was playing the mean principle for a long time.
No fun league.
Yeah, the no fun league. Bringing back the celebrations. How fun was that this year? The hide and seek I thought was awesome. The sack race was good. The bowling was good, except the daggone receiver didn't roll the ball at him. But man, I thought everything was a lot of fun. There was some leapfrog out there, man. I mean, we were having a good old time. So I love the celebration this year.
It kind of got a little bit at much, but
I
mean, let's let
doing
it have
the
fun.
entire electric slide after one interception, that was a little much. But
I get what you're saying. It did bring a little bit, back. Let them have some fun out there. And man, when
most
I say
of these guys are 23, 24, I mean, man, go have some fun.
Right, they're kids, and Schuster just. Like he just went and
He's
loved it. Yeah, man. And you get to see a little personality in that when they do stuff. I mean, so that's cool. You get linemen involved. Like they can't wait, like you're saying. It's like, oh crap, he's gonna score. You can't just stay at the 50 if it's a bomb touchdown. You gotta hurry up and get there. You ready? All right. Which one? Number one. Okay.
Did you see Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen talking about their the celebration that was? He's, what are we doing on the next touchdown? And he goes, we're doing what did he say? They were doing he goes we're doing a pickle, and he goes, what? He goes, pickle, like in baseball where somebody gets in a rundown, and he goes, what are you talking about? He goes, all right, look, man, like when you pick somebody off at third and then they get stuck between third and home. He goes, oh yeah. And he's like teaching, it's like practicing. You're not gonna teach him what the daggum.
We ain't gonna go by the right concept we do it next. No, let's focus on what the next.
Forget technique and trying to do the right thing and do your job.
What coverage were they doing against you?
Don't worry about that. Man.
Okay.
Just somebody score, whoever it is. It doesn't matter. Somebody score around here.
Oh boy.
That was what I was talking about for sure. And so once again, we named a lot of our things after Tombstone and crap that we've said to each other for 100 years. Man, you got to skin that smoke wagon, stuff like that. So we had a skin it segment this year. Skin that smoke, jerk that pistol, and go to work. And this was a kind of a flyer. Just hey man, if you don't have anything else, go pick this guy up. Just see what you can do. And what'd you come up with on Skin It?
This year, I think there was a lot of candidates for this one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe next year we do an honorable mention or something like the Game Time Awards or something. But
give him
my Alex Collins, he was a running back that I didn't think. I mean, he wasn't nothing because Seattle let him go. and then he started fumbling. We had a problem at the Ravens, and then all of a sudden he was like, you know what? I'm running over everybody. I don't even care anymore. So it's like he was relevant in crucial part of the fantasy season. Like he was a starting
He was a starting playoff running back this year.
Yeah.
2018. And it was in the playoffs in a lot of leagues.
Right. And it go from nothing to where it's like, well, we don't got nobody else. Go ahead, man. Just try to hold on to the ball. And it's like, oh, man, this dude's doing good. And they kept feeding him. And
and honestly, though, when he came out as a rookie, I liked him.
Yeah.
I looked at his film, and I was like, man, this dude's good. He reminded me a lot of Marion Barber. And just the style that he runs, and just tough guy. He knew he was gonna get the tough yards. He was gonna run. He was gonna probably be a goal line guy. And then he went to Seattle, and I was like, man, why'd you go there? They got 50 running backs, and all of them are hurt, And then, I was just like, well, I guess that shoots that. I mean, he's never going to get any playing time there. And so, I never ended up getting him. And then some people, drafted him late and stashed him, and then this year, boop, he just pops right up. That was a heck of a fantasy pickup. The guy that ended up with him a lot of times did end up in the playoffs. To me, I got a guy that is he's hard to keep on your roster because you never know what week he's going to blow up. And that's Kenny Stills. And I don't know if you know anything about him at all.
Yeah, a little bit.
You have any?
He's pretty fast.
Oh, is he? Okay, write that down. But he's one of those guys. He's kind of like a poor man's Deshaun Jackson. This year, except he outscored Jackson this year. He just kind of.
It's weird with him. You're right. It's like
he's like Alvin Harper back in the day with the Cowboys in the early 90s. He's only going to get 3 looks a game, but one of them's going 50 yards for a touchdown.
But the other crazy part with him was, how some receivers they have a quarterback that just somehow just loves them. And when Matt Moore would come in the game, it was like,
where's Stills at?
Yeah, I'm just chunk it up to him. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna just throw it as far as I can, and that was kind of what happened. But with Cutler, it wasn't as much. But sure with Matt Moore.
A lot of times he was available on the waiver wire.
Right.
Because he was hard to kind of keep on your team because you didn't never know when the son was gonna score. So he was kind of a true skin it. It's kind of like, man, I ain't got nothing else. I will pick this guy up.
200 yards.
He might get 200 yards and a touchdown. It would be just as expected as if he got 30 yards. It'd be like, oh well, either way, whatever. So
that was a good one.
Yeah. All right. So one thing that Jay said to me about 5,000 times in my lifetime is, man, I'm gonna bake you a cake, man. That means, man, I appreciate that, bro. You all right? And so we had a little segment here. Man, I'm gonna bake you a cake. A guy that kind of came out of the blue and just tore it up. And man, I went with Robert Woods because honestly, when he played with Buffalo, I thought that was a horrible pick. And I was just like, man, this guy stinks, man. He is horrible.
But I liked him coming out of college.
I didn't.
No,
I didn't. I didn't feel like he did any one thing well.
Right, but I didn't think he would be elite. But I was like, man, this guy could be.
He's an NFL
guy. He can find his spot and be relevant for
once
5 years or something.
Goes to a team, finds a role. Wow, coaching coming into play. You might want to pay attention to coaching this offseason, guys. And Robert Woods came out of nowhere and was killing it at the end of the year.
Right, and I even traded for this guy and dropped him.
Traded for him and dropped him.
But I still get a show, so.
I didn't get fired. I didn't get kicked off my show. I didn't call anybody's little 5-year-old daughter a name. So.
Oh, man. Yeah. So that's you baking him a cake?
I'm gonna bake Robert Woods a cake, man. That dude's awesome, man. I'm gonna take him.
Well, you know who I'm gonna bake a cake for, man? I'm gonna ask him what kind of cake you want. Whatever kind of cake you want, I'm gonna hook you up, man.
He can afford his own cake.
Yeah. Alex Smith. I'm gonna bake you a cake, man, because coming into this season, you could have put your head down, you could have sulked, you could have did whatever, went to the media and talked.
They took 2 first-round picks on one quarterback. I'm the quarterback.
But what he did, he got hot, man. Played football, consistent, had one of the better years, and
do it down the field.
He opened it up more, and maybe that was part of it. You can't be too conservative because it's like
I totally think that's
what happened.
That's what happened. I mean, people are talking about how great Joe Montana was. Joe Montana was really, really good. When he got great is when they brought in Steve Young and said, "Oh, by the way, don't mess up."
Yeah, and see, and it's like the stuff we don't get to see in practice. It's like, all right, Alex, go in there and run that wild banana, and then Mahomes, you go in there, it's like, ooh.
Man, he really threw that one good, didn't he, Jimmy? All right.
Go back out there, Alex. Oh, you're not going to hit the fullback this time, huh? Oh, okay. You want to try?
Oh, he throws it backside of the post. Okay, yeah, all right. Spider 2, why, what? No, there you go.
Yeah, so I have to bake him a cake, man. He real professional about it, and that he always been that way. But he been professional, played the game. Yeah, like he been through it before. He went through the 1-15 or what his first year or something. It was crazy, terrible, and I mean, so.
Took him to the NFC Championship game.
If you go through this guy's career, I mean, and he just got paid. He made it to the mountaintop. So and I think it's good for him. And it's not like they getting what man?
These guys. No man, these the Redskins. The Redskins don't want Kirk Cousins. 29 years old.
Somebody.
29 years old. A better quarterback than Alex Smith. We don't want that guy. Get him out of here. Yeah. We're going to bring in a 34-year-old Alex Smith, and we're going to give him all this money and all this kind of stuff.
We got the money. I mean,
yeah, whatever. It don't matter.
It's going to come out 10 years later that cousin slapped somebody. Wife or something.
Have you ever watched any of his sound effects for him on the side? He is like the nicest person. He's never. He's like, hey man, that's a good one, man. I had all day back there. Good job. Hey, everybody gets a high five. Everybody gets a high five. He's just like
he a kindergarten teacher or something. Like encouraging everybody with the simplest thing.
Hey, don't worry about that. That didn't even hurt that much when you hit me. Just keep on working on it, man.
Oh boy. So Alex Smith. I'm gonna bake you a cake, man.
Cool.
And I mean, you can buy the whole cake store, but that's all good. But it's gonna be homemade though, so there's a difference.
Yeah, it's made from scratch. You're gonna scratch the box open. Yeah.
And see, now we go into the next segment. You may go now, and
not nearly as kind.
The Skins and Cousins. That was like one. I'm not a radio guy, but that was one of the best transitions there is. I mean, Redskins say, hey man, we appreciate it, but you may go now. You know what? Leave that football with you. Leave the helmet. Leave the jersey. Like, what else in a league where the quarterback matters? Gosh. And this guy, I mean, okay, this dude won the MVP of the league kind of thing, but you got a guy that you skint it when you drafted him. I would have called it a skin it. Right, fourth round, and just
they gave up like their whole franchise for Robert Griffin III.
Right,
and then we're like, give us the Dak pick, whatever.
And you hit. That's what scouting and GMing and all that is all about. And then you say, you know what, you may go now. So, Redskins, man, y'all. I'm not a Redskins fan, but I don't even know where y'all mind is at right now. Like, what do you want? What do you? Yeah, so but we'll see.
They got him a quarterback now.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll throw it to Josh Doxson, Jay.
That guy.
We ain't baking him nothing. Somebody might bring his own cookies.
All the ingredients and everything. Yeah,
he better be already cooked when he gets to the party.
Oh man!
All right, you ready for You May Go Now?
You've been wanting to do this all year. Go ahead, man.
Need a moment of silence. Because Adrian Peterson, you may go now. Leave that shotgun. Because it's over,
Fantasy-wise, you can't even...
Fantasy-wise, you are irrelevant. You might be on a team next year. Nobody's drafting you, bro. Nobody's drafting you.
So he's there.
Nobody's shaking your hand and getting their hand crushed. We're not doing that, man. It ain't happening.
He's the one guy that held Kamara back.
You were the number one pick, obvious number one pick from about 2007 to just a few years ago, and that's no longer the case, my man. You can go ahead. You can go ahead and go. Leave that shotgun.
Go back to Oklahoma and coach running backs or so, right?
Something. I don't think he needs to. He's made enough money, man. Go back to Palestine.
That's sad, but that's the nature of the game, man.
That's it. It is. He had a good career.
But maybe he might get the Frank Gore clause. I don't know. Somebody might love him that much.
Somebody said, do you think he can break Emmitt's record? I think he needs about 4,000 or 5,000 more yards. I'm like, if he can play 15 more years, he might get it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh man! So this is a part of the show because one thing we know in fantasy and the NFL, either you're a Cowboy fan or you're a Cowboy hater. So either you want to hear this or you don't want to hear it, so you listen.
Right.
So
you want to get the information so you can talk crap about it later. Yeah.
Why they always talking about them, man? But you listen when they talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is your minute, man. Cowboy minute. I know it's the off season. We got a whole time to talk about that. I know y'all made some coaching moves, subtle stuff. So
yeah. I think we kind of half committed to the coaching moves. Because I think some of the guys that we hired, it's a situation that you don't really do. I think people in the military understand this, but you don't promote somebody that's on your team that used to be your peer to you don't do that. And that's what we did with Kellen Moore. I think it's stupid. Ben Bloom has been a defensive assistant and a scout on our team, and now he's the linebackers coach. It's kind of like, okay, never been a position coach before. Which, I mean, you want to try something new, but let's try something new with somebody that's done something. And then we got Paul Alexander to run the offensive line. He's been doing the offensive line in Cincinnati for 23 years, so he knows what he's doing. So that's good, and that'll they've had some pretty good running games in Cincinnati over the last 20 years. I mean, you think about Corey Dillon and Rudy Johnson and Jeremy Hill, and I mean, there's been different guys that have done a good job. So we'll see. I really like Chris Richard, the former defensive coordinator for Seattle, who's now our passing game coordinator. And whenever Rod Marinelli decides he's done, then I think he'll be our defensive coordinator. I think there's a lot of young talent to work with in the secondary for him, and I think he can. We ain't gonna be the Legion of Boom, I don't think, but I think we can be serviceable. And the defense looked better than the offense in the last month of the year, sadly. So this little thing is bothering the crap out of me. But anyways, the big talk for the Cowboys right now is Dez.
Right.
And to me, you just got to look at this practically.
Here we go. All right, y'all, record.
The contract-wise, it's not a good time to cut him. Or trade him.
What, dead money and stuff?
Yeah. It's not really time. So, you kind of made that bed. You're just going to have to lie in it. I wouldn't extend him. I wouldn't push money off. You can try to get him to take a pay cut, but he's kind of like one of those deals
you better
where...
have bodyguards when you come to
him. You might not want to do it when you're alone. So I would say, I'd say definitely keep him and just see what happens. I would also draft his replacement, though, in the first 2 rounds. If you don't draft a receiver in the first 2 rounds, the chances of them being really good are slim. So, definitely would say keep Dez. Thank you for making some changes on the coaching staff, but next time let's go a little bigger on that, because I think a lot of people wanted to see a new coordinator, at least on one side of the ball. All right. Let's get down to brass tacks, man. Tomorrow, they're going to play a football game. Sorry. The last football game. The last football game of the year. Who you got?
Well, I don't see if we're going to get back on live or we just roll.
Oh, either way. I don't have my battery died.
Okay. I'm going with the Eagles in the upset, man. Eagles in the upset.
Stupid or something.
Yeah, I am. Stupid is as stupid does. Well, it's one of those. I'm just not going to go for the Patriots. I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'll play with 10. No, I'm not going to do it. I will not.
My team is on the floor.
But I put it like this: I'm going with the Eagles, but I wouldn't bet against Brady. And that's how I've been telling folks.
Yeah.
But I got the Eagles in the upset, man. And I think besides Patriot fans, NFL people, a lot of them kind of want this. I mean, it's not fair to the Patriots to be like, we just tired of y'all winning, but we tired of y'all winning. You know what I'm saying? We want something different. So that's my pick, man. And when I say Eagles in the upset, I'm saying 38-20. Like, Eagles. I ain't half stepping. I know the Patriots been in a lot of close Super Bowls, but they got a defensive line, I think, that can get to Brady without having to blitz a lot. And
what a concept.
and their offense is always pushing. They always got the foot on the gas. I don't think they're gonna let up. They still gonna take their shots, and so they're not gonna wait around and sit on a 7-point lead or nothing like that. No, it's game
Move it
time.
down the field.
Yeah, it's on.
Well, that's a stupid pick. Some kind of a moron. I'm taking the Eagles also. In an upset. 27-24. I see it going a lot like the Falcon game, where you kind of like, when are the Falcons going to get on these guys and just go ahead and beat them? You know what I mean? And, the Patriots kind of started slow against Jacksonville. And if they do that in this one, I think they're going to regret it. I don't think 28-3 is come back. You can come back from that with the Eagles. The Eagles have a good defense. They have a good defensive coordinator. Schwartz was one of those slappies on the Browns back when Belichick first got that job. So he knows him really well. But
he also aggressive on that end.
He's aggressive. Yeah. They got good players in the front. They got good players in the back end. And also, I'm trying to jinx them because I hate them. Much more than you hate the Patriots.
But see, that's as a Cowboy fan, which one would you hate the worst? The Patriots get another Super Bowl or the Eagles getting the Super Bowl?
Let them have a Super Bowl, man.
But I thought y'all was trying to get in line with the number of rings and be.
Man, how many times you seen us win a ring in the last 20 years, man? We're never going to catch back up. We still got 5. That's impressive. But
So that ain't even in the race.
I'm like this with my loyalty. I'm like this. I like the Longhorns. I like the Cowboys. That's it. If the Aggies were playing the Russians, I'm pulling for the Russians. You know what I mean? If the Eagles play, the evil empire, Darth Vader, I'm pulling for Vader. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry. I'm not pulling for the Eagles. They hadn't won since 1960 when Eisenhower was president. Man. They can daggum wait some more. So
I like that, man. Okay.
I don't give a crap. I'm loyal to a fault. All right, so we both got the Eagles win. So what Eagle is going to win the MVP for you?
Well, I guess if you win, has that ever happened where the losing team won the MVP? I think like one time or something.
Yeah, I can't remember the team. Oh wait, it was the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, word.
Yeah, we have 5 Super Bowls and 8 MVPs.
Man, all right.
How about that?
You know your stuff. I knew you would know.
You know who it was?
No, I do not.
1970 against the Colts. 9 turnovers for each team or something like that.
Oh, they both made it with not and playing like that.
No, they played. One had 5, one had 4. It's 9 total turnovers. You want to guess? A defensive player for the Cowboys in 1970, linebacker, 54.
Go ahead.
Chuck Howley. Chuck Howley.
Super Bowl MVP.
Super Bowl MVP on the losing team. I think he had 2 interceptions, and I mean, it was amazing.
That defensive guy got it too, huh? Well, my MVP is going to be former Dolphin,
and that's why.
Crazy trade and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have to add a column.
Slow
crazy.
as Christmas. Good gravy.
Well, your own teammate dog you out about you being slow. You're slow.
You see that?
But this is why. Not because he's a Dolphin, but a lot because of that. But he knows the Patriots. He ran well against them. He ain't gonna be any kind of. I mean, the Super Bowl was new to him, but it's the Patriots to him. He just runs against them. Now, are they gonna be committed to him running because they've been spoon feeding him a lot? Well, he hadn't really had like a.
He ought to be well rested.
Right. See, so I think to beat them, he's going to have to have a good game, and even receiving have to have a good game. So that's my MVP, and I'm going. I mean, we could have picked obvious stuff, but we didn't do it that way. Y'all know how
It's
we
going to
roll.
be one of the quarterbacks. We know that. We're not stupid. But where's the fun in that? I'm picking your bowl.
Yeah, we got a show for a reason. We know a little bit.
Dog.
Yeah, but
pick whoever the heck I want to pick.
So I'll go with Jay Ajayi with being the MVP, and in saying that, I'm gonna say 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 50 yards receiving.
When's the last time he's done that?
Oh, okay. Well,
Last year against the Steelers.
Yeah, but he had 3 200-yard games for
Last
the
year
Dolphins.
for the
So
Dolphins.
hey,
How many times has he done that for this year?
I mean, you can't do it with 5 carries. So 200 total yards. Since you want to go there,
200 yards.
200 total yards for Jay Ajayi, Super Bowl MVP.
All right. How about this?
Yeah, you really off your rocker now, man. You took your medicine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take LeGarrette Blount to score more touchdowns than Jay Ajayi. How about that?
Oh,
Right.
you know what? Since you want to talk, who won the Gametime or whatever the show you had going on? We just forgot to announce the champion of that or something. I mean, I'm just wondering.
All right, my pick for the MVP here.
Since you want to make these.
What was it? Was it about a 6-point win or something like that for the year? It was a beatdown, man. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close.
I guess I won.
Yeah.
All right.
That's gonna be a win. When you start out the first week in like a 3-point lead, it was pretty much downhill from there, man.
So your Super Bowl MVP is?
Since I picked the Eagles to win, I think they're gonna need a turnover. I think they're gonna need a big play from the defense, and if they get a pick 6, then I think that's gonna be kind of the play that turns the game. And if they're gonna get a pick 6, I'm betting it's gonna be Malcolm Jenkins. He's a big play guy. He's a stud, and so I'm gonna go with a defensive guy, turning the tide of the game. Another guy that I like that I'm calling a good game for is Nelson Aguilar.
That's your guy.
I heard that one of the categories that New England's actually in the bottom of the league in is defending slot receivers. Well, he's one of the best ones in the league. So I have a feeling Nelson Aguilar is going to get over 100 yards and make his name.
Big play.
Yeah, make his presence felt. So we decided to also throw in a Super Bowl fantasy lineup.
Because it's our show and we can do.
Because we do whatever the crap we want to do. And no one is firing us. The director's not saying crap to us. The executive producers are really close to us.
So, man, they're like brothers.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're really cool people. Good looking, too. Goodness gracious. Super Bowl fantasy lineup. Tell me your quarterback and I'll tell you mine.
I'm going to go with Brady.
I'm going Foles.
Okay, man. You meant that, huh? Well, Brady, I mean, when it comes to fantasy, you got to start Brady. I mean, why
if you come into a Super Bowl, you definitely need to go Brady.
Because he's going to throw to the running back 20 times.
Yes.
And nobody's going to know, like, you throw to the running backs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I'm taking Foles just because if I pick the Eagles to win, Foles is going to have to play well. He's just going to have to. And I think your safest thing that you can do is take Tom Brady. I mean, that's he's going to score points. That's how it is. So you'll be right on that one.
So maybe some of y'all guys can get y'all fantasy lineup, and then we'll see on our next show how they compare. But we doing it the same format we normally do, but we just picking one defensive player, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Your 2 running backs.
My running backs, I got to go with Jay Ajayi since he's gonna have 200 yards total.
He's gonna be the MVP. You might as well take him.
And I'm gonna take Lewis from New England because he's once he got back and they double down.
Yeah, we'll double down on Jim Lewis.
Yeah, because once he came back in, he made some crucial runs in that championship game. I mean, like he was a big dog kind of runs.
91, 92% win percentage when he's in the game.
So those are my 2 running backs, Ajayi and Lewis.
I'm just saying. I'm taking Blount and Lewis. Like I said a while ago, I think Blount is going to have a bone to pick with New England.
And they're really scared about that.
Oh, yeah. And I think he's gonna really lobby to be the guy to run it in on him, that sort of thing. And
It's
goal
time to
line
punish him and
carry,
let's give it to me.
yeah.
I'm waiting to hit one of them.
Disrespect me, man. You didn't bring me back. Like, come on, man. We're the only guys.
You're the reason why you still in the league.
Yeah, man. Like crap, man. I mean, everybody cuts you for smoking pot in the car with the other running back and stuff, and then we just take you back. So
you was happy when we came calling, but now you disrespected.
Idiot.
Okay.
So wide receiver, I'm gonna take my boy Aguilar for the reasons I said.
Okay.
Danny Amendola. He's really, man, he was money in the championship game, and that's I just like the connection. Brady's always had a Welker, an Edelman, somebody like that, and so I think Amendola's filling that role. It makes me sick because we had him on our team. And then Brandon Cooks.
Ding ding ding.
I think we're gonna double down on that.
Double down.
Okay. Brandon Cooks, I think, is
He don't need a lot of catches.
the big play threat on the Patriots. I mean, maybe Hogan can get deep on somebody, but the most likely thing to happen is going to be Brandon Cooks.
And they chunk it to him a couple of times. Like he gets opportunities.
Man, if you don't do that once or twice a quarter in the NFL, you're crazy. You can get 50 yards if they touch your receiver, like pull his jersey like that. That's 50 yards.
Right off the bat.
Yes.
Yeah. But the Amendola, and I forgot about this. Did the Eagles drafted him or what? Y'all drafted him?
Nobody drafted him.
Wow.
We picked him up in free agency, undrafted. Brought him to camp.
Okay.
Hard Knocks, right?
I remember.
Catches a punt against San Diego, running. As he's about to go down, his knee's about that far from the ground, they rip the ball out. He fumbles. Oh. And you can't do that if you want to make the Dallas Cowboys. That's Brad Sham, exact words. And so...
You took a picture of it.
Yeah, I took a picture with him. I don't know if you knew that. So, anyways, fast forward to cut down. We cut him. Stupid. But we get him on the practice squad. Oh, hey! Yeah. We still got him. All right. Philadelphia comes calling. Hey, man, you want to be on an active roster? Yeah. Come on this way. He went to Philadelphia, bounced around to the St. Louis Rams. If you remember, he did really well for them and got a big contract.
Yeah, that was the everybody was getting the next Welker.
Yeah. Then he got a couple concussions, winds up on the Patriots, wins a couple Super Bowls.
I mean, just a typical NFL
career. Normal career for a guy that's smaller than both of us. You're so small.
That's for you, JJ. Man,
he's so small.
He's so small.
So cute. All right, who are you playing at receiver besides Cooks?
I'm going with Jeffrey South Click. I mean, we just got to roll like that.
Taking the Miami running back, South Carolina.
And I'm going to go Hogan. I mean, he was on Miami. He got coined 7-11 because he's always open.
Always open.
But that's just my skin it in my lineup. I went Hogan as a skin it.
Yeah, Cooks is kind of like that too because he's a big play dude. He's sort of like all or nothing. Tight end. Can't go wrong. I mean, crap, two of the best tight ends in the whole league. Who'd you take?
I went Ertz. Because you go Gronk, I go Ertz.
I'm fine Brady. With either one. I love Ertz. Became a believer last year.
Amen.
Good dude. So he's my brother. But yeah, Gronk. I mean, biggest mismatch at tight end there's ever been. So why not? Tom Brady, Gronk.
And he didn't get to play in the last one to be a part of it, so it's game time. Yeah, so that's good.
Defensive player, you want to double down?
Ding, ding, ding.
Let's double down, baby. If I'm gonna make him the MVP, he's definitely got to be in Atlanta.
And I like him on the defense because he does a lot. He's a tackle guy, so he's
instincts,
big time. So and Brady gonna be throwing it, and maybe his instincts will be like one time actually go run out there on a running back and actually maybe pick it. So that just blows my mind when I watch a Patriot game, the amount of catches a running back gets in the flat and nobody's on him. Like, I can understand if he catches it and it's a linebacker out there and then it's like, okay, he make a miss. But they catch the ball and it's like nobody thought like he came on the field late or something.
Are we supposed to cover the flat? didn't line up there.
Yeah,
It's okay for them to release.
Yeah, man. Do we play with 10 on defense and I didn't know about it or something?
I think it was Ross Tucker that tweeted this. But he said, if I was coaching in the NFL, our team would lead the league in targets for running backs. He goes, that's always open. And,
right.
you know, these guys carry the ball anyways, man. Let them catch it.
But think about, you know, we talked about how the league evolves and come back or whatever. But it used to be, okay, here we go, South Carolina, a stigma to check it down. Like, it used to be, you know, he's
a bus driver. He's a safe quarterback, and he's checking it down. Man, go back and look at Troy Aikman's numbers. Daryl Johnston, 60 catches a year in those Super Bowl years. Emmitt Smith, 60 catches a year. Jay Novacek, 50, 60 catches a year.
And they were 5 yards away.
Yeah, that's three guys right there that are like, you know, huge pieces of your puzzle, and they average 8-9 yards a catch.
Right. But and that's my thing. It's like, Swartz, I know you're watching. You know, you're getting prepped for the game tomorrow. So
he cares so much about this show.
Craig Way is going to get this to you in time to where you can know this. But make Brady throw an NFL pass
down the field.
Like, make him throw a deep end
outside the hashes.
Right.
Something.
Like, make him throw a real, like, I need to see your arm kind of throw. That's all I want. Please, sir. All right. Thank you. Nice. Thank you for watching the show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Saturday night before the game, I'm dead sure right now he's tuned in. There's no doubt about it. But man, that's it for today, man. But I wanted to say it's been great being back. It's been great being with you, being able to hang out and kick it and chase babies around the house. And
I know, right? I got a lesson today in putting on the right kind of socks and all kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, man, this guy leading my son astray on the socks, man. He's putting down white socks in my house, man. Come in my house and disrespect white socks, man. Just walked in the door.
Oh man,
acting a fool. Acting a fool. But never a dull moment at the Maven household.
You're right about that. You're right about that, man. So I need to go back to some
peace and quiet and some yappy dog. And... Unbelievable.
Man, but it is good to be back. You know, it is our show, and we always, you know, pray before we come on here. But I do want us to just constantly just be in prayer for one another. You know, God brought us together as fantasy gurus and fanatics and whatever we want to call ourselves. You know, it's a lot going on in all of our lives. We're not going to broadcast it, but you know, just be in prayer for one another. We know everybody's names, so just add them to the list, and you know that next year we come back together and do this thing again. Wish my sister that I know is watching, but it's her birthday today. Mary Ellen, happy birthday. I don't know the age, and I ain't gonna say it if I do know it. So yeah, I don't want you to. I don't want you to cut my butt
right there.
No, she will actually whoop me because she did it. You know, so it's
She's
great.
21, man.
Oh, there you go. That's the age. Okay, I get it now. I'm no.
You may have a beer now.
Yeah, man. So this really, we got a lot going on with each other. So I'm just thankful to Russell. He's one of those commissioners that keep us up to date on stuff. I'm a commissioner of the league, and I'm pretty bad about that. But you
gotta have a white guy running the league. That's the main thing.
So that's all I got. We got to keep pushing. Got to keep praying till something happens, man. That's the key to it all. Prayer. Go ahead, brother.
This is my little call out that we're gonna do from now on. You ready?
I mean, I got to know it to do it.
No, I'm gonna say it, but you just got to be on board with it. Okay, hey.
We couldn't have practiced this before, but go ahead.
Nah, man, we just didn't have time. You know, it's only been a month since we did the show. Hey, we love football. We just love Jesus more. Peace.
Amen. We love football. We love Jesus more.